One of my dad's favorite admonitions was his warning about forgetfulness. Right after he would make a particularly important point, he would follow up with, and don't you forget it. Memory is a function of the mind where it stores information and holds it for recall when it's needed. Psychologists tell us that the human brain stores every sensation that a person has ever experienced. Everything you've smelled, tasted, heard, seen, touched is available for recall at any time. Our biggest problem is being able to sort through all the millions of files in our brain to be able to recall what we want when we want it. There are millions of things that happen in your lives, yet only a few of them linger in our memory. Often traumatic experiences become the thing that dominates our memory and shapes our futures. At times, those same traumatic experiences can become blocked out of the mind and are unavailable for recall. I struggle at times to remember a person's name, an appointment that I have set, and sometimes what I was just talking about a minute ago. Comedians often joke about men not being able to remember their wife's birthday or their anniversary. And yet, those things that matter to us the most tend to be the things that we think about the most and the things that stay in our memory. Some things stay in our memories easily, and others we have to work hard to keep them there. Some things are just naturally important to us, and our bodies are built to ensure that we do not forget them. We rarely forget to eat or sleep, and when we get too busy to do those things, the body raises a flag and demands that we get them done through hunger or fatigue. There are times that we have to make effort to remember something that we have decided is important to us. The Book of Deuteronomy is loaded with Moses' warnings to the nation of Israel not to forget God. His fear was that they would begin to live a good life filled with the blessings that God had given them and then forget that it was God that had given it to them. In Deuteronomy 6:12, he warns, "Beware, lest you forget the Lord, which brought you out of Egyptian slavery." Chapter 8, verses 2 as well as verse 11, he instructs the nation to remember all the way in which the Lord your God led you 40 years in the wilderness. And beware that you do not forget the Lord your God in keeping his commandments. We are often unaware that we are recipients of the blessings handed down to us from God. Just as children take for granted the things that they have, that are given to them by their parents, we tend to forget that the blessings of life and health and happiness and freedom are not irrevocable rights that we have just for being alive. Too often we fail to recognize that even the little things are blessings from God. If you pause for just a moment, you can most likely remember times in your life that were not as good as things are now. Even with the difficulties that you may be facing right now, you still should be able to recall that you have been blessed. God is calling you today to remind you not to forget him and all the things that he's done for you. Our rights are God-given. Let us remember to thank him on a daily basis. For help with your spiritual walk with God or other messages from God's Word, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and contact us at the Bessemer 24th Street Church of Christ, where Christ is King and faith works.